everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Broncos going up against the Buccaneers. So let's get you over to Tampa as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st and 10, Simeon. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Lavonte David leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe that
Demaryius Thomas, 30, past the 20, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, 88 yards, and the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he's got it, 7-0 Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. One receiver to the left is Evans. Jameis now on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans.
a monster 2016 for Mike Evans. His Buccaneers didn't make the playoffs, but wasn't because of his production. Led the league in targets and was in the top 5 in many other receiving categories. What a big-time year for him.
4th in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, just outside of the top 5, 6th in catches. So he's going to be a handful for teams in the future. I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him.
A long career ahead of him, and look for him to increase his yards after catch as he moves forward in his career.
Evans has it left side. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Jameis to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense. And one of the good wideouts, of course, is Vincent Jackson.
And when he's on the field, you don't play small ball. You make sure you get it out to that guy and let him go get it.
And he whips that one incomplete there. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And it's 3rd down. And a look now at lineup defensively.
Chris Harris Jr. is not a name that rolls off the tongue quickly, but it should. He's one of the best cover corners in the league.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. It's caught. He finds Myers. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Vincent Jackson from 3 yards out. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a group.
Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job.
And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Clinton McDonald able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They are going to go. It's Simeon. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. So the ball switches back over to Tampa Bay, and as they get set in place on offense, Charles, talk about the running game and the O-line, where they stack up going in next year, because Doug Martin was only active for 8 games this last season. Rushing total dropped down to 400 yards, basically.
Yeah, they were fortunate they picked up Jacquizz Rodgers during the...
And Winston lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can...
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And his throw is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They snap it to Simeon. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Booker's got it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And the drive begins here with Sims. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there. And it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first. So an entertaining first half, and now we have hit the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, Winston. Complete to Myers, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jared Crick in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And Denver getting set to take the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back?
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Another pistol look here. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, and it's 4th down.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this,
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Cameron Brate, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And It's up and good. That pushes the lead now to 15-7. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They start the drive with Anderson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. In the backfield is Anderson. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Nine yards to go. It's third down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. From the gun on third, Simeon. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. And fourth down coming up. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and they've just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, they run with Sims. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. To throw is Winston. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, and that brings up 4th down.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, 2 quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Texans. With that, we're off to NRG Stadium. As we say hello to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. Savage on first. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. On the defensive side of the football for the Bucs, here's the lineup. You know, you look at last year, 2016, 23 points a game, right in the middle of the league, but improved, I think. How do they look going forward? Well, try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Darryl Smith. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It goes as a pickup of 23. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did. And Winston lost the football. And the Texans scoop it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
And not great starting field position here for the offense.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Following the fumble recovery, Savage trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down, Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And on your screen, the defensive starters for the Houston Texans. One thing's for sure. Throughout the season, but really in the playoffs, Clowney and Merciless, boy, did they come on. You get J.J. Watt back next year, a good defense becomes even better.
You're exactly right about that. This was a defense that did not get the credit it deserved all year long. Finished defense in the NFL. And as you mentioned, that's without J.J. Watt. Just think, when they get him back and put everyone else to use again, look out. The Houston Texans will be stout again on the defensive side of the ball.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit for taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And now out comes Houston. One-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football.
Lamar Miller, 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 78 yards. Have taken the lead. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. Blitz coming and down he Brian Cushing in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Let's take it inside his own 40. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Miller, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
And a first carry here for Jonathan Grimes. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So now the Texans will call on the veteran Shane Lechler to kick this one away. This is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it again with Sims. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down. One receiver to the left is Evans. Jameis to throw it. A dump off to Sims. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I think that
Are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Bryan Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Savage now to throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8. Savage from the 50. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping.
Biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a play fake here on. He's got a man complete. A pickup there of 36. And it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first.
Today's receivers in the NFL, they're the complete package nowadays. We know they can run. We know they can catch.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. On play action, Winston steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked